But Glenda, tell us what we do to get these items for this auction.
We go out and canvass. We knock on doors and beg, is what we do. Yes, will you please give us something? And of course, with the economy being the way it is, it's been harder this year. We've had people have given to us the last several years and just said no this year. They just couldn't do it. But then, you know, on the other side, Linda, we've had people who have never given to us before and
Right.
have given to us this year. So,
And they've come forward, I think, with larger gifts. You know, so we're really breaking even
yes.
as far as number of items go.
And at this point, we have the same number of items we had last year, right?
Approximately. We ended up with 210 items to auction, and we've got a little bit more than that right now. So when we do bagging and tagging, we'll combine some of the lesser items, which will probably bring us right even with where we were last year. It's so important for us to do this and to have good attendance so that we can continue to do our charities at Christmas, like giving gifts to these two senior citizens and making sure
yes.
that these two children we sponsor have Christmas gifts. And
Well, for some of these people, that's the only Christmas they have.
right. And I think one of the things about what we do at Christmas, it makes all of us feel so good.
Yes.
To know that we have done something to give a child a Christmas, or to give an elderly person who
yes.
may be forgotten some gifts to open. And one of the other things that we do, you smack me if I'm talking too much, okay? One of the other things that we do is I don't have dues in this group. You pay to join the international organization, but everybody brings a canned good to each meeting, or at the end of the year donates a case of food. So that
And that goes to the
right.
Salvation Army Food Bank at the end of the year.
Right. And we set aside money from the auction to give them money as well, but then we have this additional food, which is a big
yes.
help. Now I'm going to go back and ask you some more questions about our group. How long has this group been in existence?
25 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary this year. We had a big party at the Terrace on the James, which the owner is one of our members, and he just went all out for us. You know, we had this nice meal, and we had 58 people in attendance, current members, former meeting speakers,
Right.
All kinds of folks, and just had a really good time. The Mackenzies came, and they were our entertainment, and it was really nice.
Do you want to tell us about what we've been through to try to send this child to space camp?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's just raising money, because it really does cost a lot. It's like $1,300. So just donations, Cato's and Sheets have helped us out quite a bit.
Right.
But we sent 2 kids to space camp 10 years ago, and it's taken us 10 years to raise money to be able to do it again, because it's gone up. But you know, through the auction and some other things, we've been able to take care of that.
And our first responsibility is to those 10 charities.
Yes.
You know, because we've adopted those charities and they've come to sort of depend on us at Christmas.
Yes.
So we have to have that covered before we put aside money for a space camp child or anything else.
Right. Yeah, it's very rare that the auction generates the income we need for space camp.
Right. As a matter of fact, the 2 kids that we sent in 1999, the cost for one child has doubled. So what we spent sending them was less than what we had to spend this time for one student. But we have a space camp committee, and Glenda's on the space camp committee, and Glenda's
I got drafted.
She's on the auction committee, and she does a lot of stuff.
Yes, our space camp committee is made up of our general officers, and we also have Pam Early, who used to be a consultant for NASA, and so she helps us out with connections and that sort of thing. And also we've been Walmart's recipient of their $500 block grant for the last 4 years.
4 years.
So that helps a lot as well.
Most of our members play some sort of role in this auction. If they can't get out and canvass, Or like Judy, who does not want to get out and canvas, but she has donated these 10 baskets, gift baskets. And this was just a small one that we showed you. There's some others that are larger and more money. They cost
Right.
more money. And she spends a lot of money of her own to do this. But not only that, we have people who go to Bag and Tag,
Yes.
which is coming up this Saturday.
Don't remind me.
There are about 5 or 6
That's
of
another
us.
thing I got drafted into. Yes, we'll be putting everything together and assigning values and numbers and that sort of thing, and just, spreading everything out to see what exactly we have.
Right. And my husband and another member, Karen Delano, they're responsible for getting everything from the auction into the computer. They're responsible for keeping up with bids during the auction and for accepting payment. And that's one job that I would not like to have. But everybody has a position, everybody has a job. And since we've been doing these as public events, we've gotten a lot of feedback from the public that everything is so well organized.
Yes.
And may it be that way again 3 weeks from now.
Well, we've been telling them for months, so if they don't get the message, it's their own fault.
Right. And people who come to this auction really stand a chance of getting some really good bargains.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just about every place in town has donated something. We have a lot of restaurants and, even like people you wouldn't think. I went in Hawkins Lock and Key, and they gave me some doorknobs and some locks, and you just never know when you walk in a place what you're going to get. And, just all kinds of things. And they go for little or nothing, really.
They do. I mean, we've got a lot of automotive places have donated things like oil changes, tire rotations, annual inspections for your car.
Oh, yes.
And if you can get an oil change for $10 that might have cost you $30, then you've saved some money. Most
yes.
of these things don't have expiration dates on them. Some of them do. But
and the other day we just got a $50 gift certificate from the Academy of Fine Arts, which can be used for any of their shows or to take classes or, just whatever it is they offer. We have, did we get the Virginia Dare tickets
yes,
this
we've
year?
got Virginia Dare, Cruise, Natural Bridge, Mitchie Tavern Tours, Monticello. We've got, and Poplar Forest. I just got that the other day. So we do have,
Busch Gardens.
don't have a Busch Gardens this year that I know of. But, we've got a lot of good stuff that you could even think about gifting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Christmas shop with us is one of the things that I keep saying.
Absolutely, yes.
Because, if you can get some of these things at reasonable prices, one or two of these gift baskets, that's what my husband did last year. He got some of the gift baskets and then he gave them to his relatives at Christmas. I want to get back and ask about the Space Camp kid. You want to tell him how we selected him?
Well, they had to write an essay saying why they wanted to go to space camp. And Travis's just stood out as being the best.
Yeah. He, we took a gift packet or a packet about, we're calling this a Space Camp scholarship, into the schools, into the Amherst County schools, and asked the principal and whoever else the principal decided to choose to make a selection of a child or a student. And then those students that they selected, we had 5 from each school. Those students wrote essays. And one of the essays that stands out in my mind was one little girl who wrote into us and said, "I just like going to camp."